allowed.
Ooh, Sensei here. We are at Ocasio's True Martial Arts. Who's your favorite YouTuber?
Either Bungie or Sarah B. Connor.
She didn't say Face Sensei. I don't know why she didn't say Face Sensei. Does anyone know what tomorrow is? What's going on Saturday? What's going on tomorrow? Do you know what?
Today. What?
Dustin, do you know what tomorrow is? Okay, so tomorrow is the greatest boxing match.
I'm not gonna be here.
Who do you think is gonna win? Conor McGregor or Floyd Mayweather?
I have no idea who those are. I feel like I've seen this.
There's Conor McGregor. What year were you born?
Born in April.
This is the martial artist. March 3 does in 10 seconds. Boom! Then he versed another champion. Oh, he knocks him right down. Look how fast.
You can do this, so Conor McGregor. He's doing good shape.
He's look at him.
He's pretty weak.
What do you think about this now? That's Floyd Mayweather now. This is gonna be the guy that McGregor's facing. What is your opinion?
The guy before doing the martial arts.
Conor? Floyd?
Yeah.
Dustin?
Box.
All right, so now here is my reaction and how I feel about how this fight went down. First of all, check out the new place. Emma and I moved. We live in Burlington. We haven't really unpacked yet. She's out shopping with her mom. There are a couple things I want to go over. There are some things I'm surprised with, but there are some things I'm not surprised with. Number one, I wanted Conor to win, but I thought Floyd would win. To me, I'm always gonna root for the underdog. Even if it's honestly someone I know, I'm gonna root for my friend or something, or even myself, but even when I'm first an opponent, if I feel like I'm the favorite, I still want them to do well. It's just something, a part of me. I've always loved being an underdog. Number two, I always thought that Conor had a chance. I never thought he had no chance. I was definitely giving him more, I feel, than boxing or the boxing community.
Conor McGregor will not land a single punch against Floyd Mayweather.
Obviously, there's just casual fans that think, oh, Conor McGregor can knock out anybody. He's gonna kill him.
Canelo, you can have Cotto, you can have Shane Mosley. No one of those guys has the punching power of Conor McGregor. Crazy? Not one of them.
But I'm gonna explain where he went wrong today. I'm gonna explain that he could have, and then what he did wrong. What was his mistake? First observation, number one, he shouldn't have tried to box Floyd Mayweather. He made it into a technical boxing match. However, it did really show Conor McGregor's skills. It showed that he can slip, he can move, his footwork, his timing, his boxing IQ is up there. If anything, Floyd was the actual one doing most of the bullying, putting his head down in the forward pressure. Honestly, even though I think Conor did well, I must say that Floyd was fighting a different fight. He was doing it on purpose. He was walking him down. He was letting Conor have his moments and then trading him for his own. Felt that later in the fight, he would just win the fight via TKO and he would finish it, like he said. It's very obvious to me that Floyd was just walking through shots. Because in my opinion, if this is Floyd in his prime, no match. Especially if he's fighting typical Floyd, just Philly shell the whole time and just leaning and ducking and just peppering away. He was just trying to pressure, wear him out, and then bury him into the canvas. And that's what he did, honestly, but not really. They kind of robbed us of that. I'm kind of disappointed with the early stoppage. I don't think Conor was really hurt. I know that he was really exhausted. He kind of wears down and begins to pace. It's hard sometimes. You have to portray that you're still in the fight that you want to fight. And I think it's hard to tell when a man's exhausted if he's out or if he's hurt and he's rocked. If that was a first round and McGregor got hit by those, he would have looked fine, right? It wouldn't have been stopped. So, but I wish Floyd got a true TKO or like a 3 knockdown rule or really put McGregor out. But again, I'm not trying to say, oh man, McGregor would have knocked him out in the 12th round. Nothing like that, okay? I'm not out of my mind, I understand. But what I'm disappointed, the reason I felt that McGregor could have knocked him out and could have won is because of this very one thing. It's Conor McGregor's fight IQ. He has a very sharp counter-punching mind. Very, very sharp. He's able to slip and throw shots and able to move his body very, very fast and stay very relaxed when he does it. See, with 4-ounce gloves, with MMA gloves, you can just touch the face. You don't have to throw all your weight behind your punches. You can throw more arm punches and more snapping punches, and if you're accurate and you just hit the, the side of the face, you really snap that head back. And with boxing, you can't really do that. And also, when you have the guard up in boxing, you can kind of swallow shots. You can sit on them and they won't break the guard. And in MMA, you don't have to. You can just snap those punches. When McGregor's finished guys, he starts stalking them and finishing them when he sees they're in deep waters, he just snaps the punches and they try to guard and it slips through the guard. The ones that hurt the most are the ones you don't see. See, in MMA, you can snap those in there. It's hard to see. So when Nate Diaz or any other fighter had their hands up and they're covering and you kind of sit on it, you see Mayweather do the same thing. That knuckles, they find that home a lot sharper. But with boxing gloves, they don't break the guard. You need to put your weight behind it. And you saw Mayweather, textbook, throwing his weight behind his shot, but you saw McGregor really getting his head snapped back because he was leveraging his power. If it was bare hand, I can hit you with my palm of my hand. hand, I can hit you with a lot of things, and I don't need to bury my whole body into it or lunge into a shot. It's much different. Whenever I box with boxing gloves, and if I box MMA, I'm much more looser with my hands, and I don't need to put as much leverage behind my punches. See, for me, the only way I saw Conor McGregor winning this fight is via KO or TKO. He had to sleep him or really, really hurt him early. Even though he was exhausted, I think he needed to put out more energy in the beginning. Because when you're throwing shots at high volume, but they're not very damaging shots, then you're gonna get exhausted later on, and then you obviously have no chance. But if you exhaust yourself early, but in that exhaustion, you really hurt the other person by doing a counter punch and knock them out, then you can, coast in more spots because the person becomes less aggressive and they slow down a little bit, maybe more cautious, etc. This gave Mayweather more confidence because he wasn't being hurt, even though he was getting hit. He was getting hit, not hurt. So it gave him more confidence just to pressure more, and then just wore McGregor out. Perfect example, this uppercut right here. When McGregor did that uppercut, he didn't turn his hips into it. I felt that McGregor just felt like he wanted to counter with sharp punches. McGregor, I thought, didn't necessarily have the power, but he had the fight IQ and the counter ability to counter Mayweather early with an awkward style. My thought was that if he can pressure him with his feet, with his footwork, and change angles to get Mayweather to throw something like he did with the uppercut, and then he has to rip that shot down the pipe, whether it's a straight left or an uppercut, to really hurt him. You have to throw almost everything you got behind that punch. Not just a short little pop or like a good pop shot. It has to be really boom! You have to fire that thing down to try to literally end him. To me, that was Conor's mistake. I don't think he was gonna be able to pressure him, because when Floyd starts putting his hands up, he starts moving his head, and he's ducking in the corner, as you can see, you can't get enough leverage on the shot because he's not coming forward. So you're gonna hit him, but he's going back, and with the glove, he's just gonna push back. So you're gonna hit him again. You're not gonna hurt him unless you're lunging and you got like major power. And Conor doesn't have that kind of power. To me, this is very clear cut. When he landed that uppercut, he had to hurt him. His left hip, he had to get it in front. He only just slightly popped him with it. Once I saw that, to me, that was his chance. I'm like, oh, there goes your chance. Whenever he slipped the shot in the beginning and he countered and he didn't hurt him, I was like, and he hit him and didn't hurt him, even worse. That was his chance. This is gonna be over, because he had to hurt him early, and he had to put him out early. To me, all in all, I'm glad that people got to see how good Conor McGregor is. Kind of disappointed with the whole Mayweather turning his back thing. I think that it's a little bit misconstrued about how well McGregor did, because Mayweather stalking him and letting him throw shots, and a lot of the punches that he landed, he wasn't being defensive like he usually does. So he was fighting a different style so that he could end the fight and just wear McGregor down. Conor McGregor is easily the best, in my opinion, the best martial artist in the world in terms of in combat sports as a competitor, not as skill-wise. There are tremendous masters out there. For him to be able to go to boxing and fight Floyd, I didn't think he was gonna box that well. Stand in front of him and throw his hands out and play, head movement games and stuff like that, and play body to head battles. I didn't think he was actually gonna do that well. As a combat athlete, obviously the edge goes to McGregor, even though he lost. I think this is a great testament to the attitude, just to his fight IQ, and just to his approach, that I can go in there into the boxing. Now, they're not two opposite worlds. However, I don't think all MMA fighters. I think McGregor's the only one that can go over, because I think he's the best puncher in MMA history. I think he's the best boxer MMA has ever had at that level, at the tier level. Obviously, there's been professional boxers to go in and fight. I'm talking about at that level. Like, for any of you that think there's no moral victory here, that's just ridiculous. Like, there was only one person that was impressive last night, and that was Conor. Like, the only way Floyd could have been impressive is if he knocked him out. I mean, he's 49-0. He calls himself the best boxer of all time. I'm not trying to discredit him, because Conor did call him out, and he was, talking all that smack and saying that he was gonna knock him out and so forth. I mean, I didn't really believe that. I mean, he's always talks like that. And the truth is, it was 49-0 against 0-0, but not really a true 0-0. To me, this is like the NBA Finals. To me, I feel the same way. Floyd Mayweather 50-0, and Kevin Durant has a ring. I don't really see it as an impressive win. It didn't seem as a challenge to Floyd, but I feel a certain type of way when someone boasts too much on that. Like, I could have seen Floyd being like, you know what, yeah, he did a good job, like, props to Conor for coming in here as a strong competitor. I probably should have put him out in 6, but because of his style, I didn't. The challenge was to see if Conor could shock the world. Like, there was only one person that was gonna shock the world. That was gonna be Conor. Floyd was never gonna shock the world. But the thing I did really like, though, is that Floyd went out and pressured. He didn't just sit back and play his usual game. He pressured, he put his chin down. He took a whole lot of shots, I think 110, I think was the total number. He took more shots from him than he has from a lot of fighters. But I think the bigger story here is that everybody knocked Conor. Not everybody, but obviously the MMA fans did, but like the boxing community. Should Conor keep boxing? I don't know, because again, that's Floyd at 40, and he was really playing with him. I'm not sure if you taking on a Canelo or taking on maybe Pacquiao, honestly, because he's even smaller than Floyd, or a hard hitter or something like that. I can't see. Let me know your opinion about the fight in the comments. I'm interested to see your thoughts on my thoughts, right, and my views, and I want to hear your views in the comments below. And I'm looking forward to my training now. I'm going to be getting ready for my kickboxing fight soon. This is going to be motivating me, right? I can't wait to get back out there. Leave a like for the video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Oos.